Throughout human history, thousands of ancient manuscripts have been deciphered. Long-forgotten languages have finally been reread. Secrets buried for centuries have gradually been revealed thanks to archaeology, linguistics, and modern technology. But there is one book that remains outside all these rules. For over 100 years, cryptographers, linguists, mathematicians, and even artificial intelligence experts have tried to decipher it. Yet, to this day, no one truly knows what its contents are about. That book is called the Voynich Manuscript, a book containing a language no one understands, plants no one recognizes, and celestial diagrams unlike any known system. And the more scientists study it, the more they are confronted with a thought-provoking possibility. Perhaps the greatest mystery is not who wrote it, but what it is trying to describe. To understand why the Voynich manuscripts are one of history's greatest mysteries, we must go back to 1912. That year, the antiques dealer and collector Wilfrid Voynich discovered a small book inside the library of a monastery near Rome. Initially, this discovery didn't attract much attention. Europe had countless ancient manuscripts, and most of them were simply religious, medical, or philosophical documents copied over centuries. At first glance, the book doesn't seem particularly unusual. The pages have faded with time. The drawings are done with ink and colors in an antique style. Everything gives the impression that it's just an ordinary medieval manuscript. But as scholars began to investigate more closely, that normalcy quickly disappeared. The book bears no author's name. It also has no title. There is no indication of where it was written or its purpose. The strangest thing is the text itself. The entire book is written using a completely unfamiliar system of symbols. Experts have attempted to compare these symbols with hundreds of writing systems that have existed throughout history. They compared them to Latin, ancient Greek, Hebrew, Arabic, and many other ancient languages, but none of the systems matched what appeared in the manuscript. Not a single symbol could be definitively identified. If these were merely random scribbles, the mystery would probably have been solved long ago. But what makes Voynich even more frightening is that the text within is not chaotic at all. The symbols repeat in certain patterns. Words appear with a regular frequency. Sentence lengths and text arrangement also follow characteristics commonly found in real language. In other words, the book is not a joke or a meaningless string of characters. It's like a complete language with its own structure, rules, and grammar. The problem is, nobody knows who owns that language. For over a century, numerous experts have attempted to decipher the inscriptions, all without success. This has given rise to a thought-provoking question. If the language is authentic, what do the accompanying images within the book depict? As the pages continue to unfold, the mystery of Voynich becomes even more perplexing. If the mystery of the Voynich manuscript had simply remained an undecipherable language, many would likely have dismissed it as a mere linguistic puzzle. But as researchers began analyzing the images within the book, they discovered something far more perplexing. Much of the manuscript's content is devoted to botanical illustrations. At first glance, these images resemble those found in medieval medical or pharmacological books. Many ancient civilizations documented plants for medicinal purposes, drug manufacturing, or natural studies. Therefore, scholars initially believed that simply identifying the names of the plants depicted in the book would reveal the manuscript's origin. But things didn't turn out that way. Botanists spent years comparing each image to thousands of known plant species on Earth. They searched for familiar features in the stems, leaves, roots, and flowers. However, the results were extremely strange. None of the drawings perfectly matched a known plant species. In many cases, a plant in a manuscript appears to be a composite of several different species. The root system might resemble a familiar plant, while the leaves bear the characteristics of a completely different species. The flowers at the top might not even belong to the same family as the other two. Looking at each part individually, one might find certain similarities. But when put together, no plant in nature matches that image. This has led researchers to propose various theories. Some suggest the artist may have misdrawn or stylized real plants. Others argue that these are symbolic illustrations rather than scientific depictions. However, to date, no explanation has convinced everyone. The more one observes these pages, the more one feels as if they are looking into an alien ecosystem. It's as if someone is trying to document the plant species belonging to a land that humanity has never set foot in. And it is from here that bolder theories begin to emerge. Because if the plants in Voynich's work don't belong to our familiar world, then what are the following pages depicting? The answer may be even stranger as the book shifts from the earth to the sky. If the plants in the Voynich manuscripts have already puzzled researchers, the following pages push the mystery even further. After the strange drawings of plants, the book begins to feature diagrams relating to the sky, a field that humans have observed and documented for thousands of years. Within these pages are images of the sun, moon, constellations, and numerous intricate circular diagrams arranged in enigmatic patterns. At first glance, they resemble astronomical maps or records of celestial body movements. This has led many scholars to hope that astronomy might hold the key to deciphering the entire manuscript. However, when the experts began comparing these images to known astronomical systems, they encountered the same problem as with the botany section. The diagrams in Voynich do not perfectly match medieval European astronomy, nor do they align with the Arab astronomical traditions that flourished during the same period. Even when compared to ancient Chinese sky observation systems, researchers have not found sufficient similarities to draw definitive conclusions. Some images may be associated with familiar zodiac signs, but the arrangement and accompanying details differ significantly. Many circular diagrams appear with such complex structures that experts still debate their true function. They could be star maps, astronomical calendars, or some other entirely different representational system that we do not yet understand. Strangely, the more one studies these diagrams, the more one gets the feeling that they are not based on how humans are accustomed to looking at the sky. Some drawings even give the impression of maps of an alien system, where the relationships between celestial bodies are organized according to rules different from what we know. From here, a bold hypothesis began to emerge among those who love historical mysteries. If the plants in the book did not belong to any familiar ecosystem, and if these astronomical diagrams did not depict the sky as humanity has ever recorded it, then was the author observing a completely different place? Of course, there is no scientific evidence to confirm that, but the anomalies in the astronomical pages opened the door to even stranger speculation. And from here, the story of the Voynich manuscript began to move beyond the realm of conventional archaeology into one of the most controversial hypotheses about its true origins. By this point in the story, we've encountered three major mysteries within the Voynich manuscripts: an unidentified language, plant species that don't fit into any known ecosystem, and astronomical diagrams that don't quite resemble any historical tradition of sky observation. It is this combination of three elements that has led many to ask far bolder questions. It's important to emphasize that no serious scientist has claimed that Voynich came from extraterrestrial beings or another world. However, as conventional explanations consistently fail, unconventional theories begin to emerge. If the botanical figures don't depict plants on Earth, if the astronomical diagrams don't depict our familiar sky, and if the internal language doesn't belong to any recorded civilization, what other possibilities could explain all of this? One theory put forward by many history mystery enthusiasts is that the book may be the remnant of a completely vanished civilization. Perhaps a community once existed with its own system of knowledge, language, and way of observing the world. After some event, that civilization disappeared from history, leaving behind only a single book as a message from the past. But there's an even stranger theory. According to this theory, the Voynich manuscript is not a record of a place lost in history, but rather a record of a place that has never belonged to our history, a parallel world, a different timeline, a different branch of humanity developing in a completely separate direction. In that world, plants could evolve into different forms, the sky could be observed from a different frame of reference, and language could develop according to rules our brains have never encountered. From that perspective, Voynich is like a lost piece of information between two realities. In some way we don't understand, a part of the knowledge of that world has appeared in this world. Of course, there is no scientific evidence to confirm that hypothesis. Such ideas remain within the realm of speculation and imagination. But what makes the Voynich Manuscript special is that it doesn't allow us to easily dismiss those questions. Because after more than a century of research, there remains a truth that is very difficult to deny. We don't know what this book is really about. And perhaps most astonishingly, what science has confirmed about it is even stranger than the most audacious hypotheses. After all the theories about lost civilizations, parallel worlds, or knowledge coming from elsewhere, there remains a more important question. What does science really know about the Voynich manuscripts? For over a century, this book has attracted the attention of the brightest minds from many different fields. Cryptographers have attempted to uncover the patterns hidden behind the strange symbols. Linguists have analyzed sentence structure, word frequency, and text arrangement. Mathematicians have studied statistical patterns within the manuscript. As technology advanced, supercomputers and modern artificial intelligence systems have also been brought into play. Each generation hopes to be the first to decipher the Voynich secret, but to this day, no one can claim they truly understood the book's contents. That doesn't mean science hasn't achieved any results. On the contrary, researchers have confirmed some very important facts. Using radiocarbon dating, experts determined that the parchment used to create the manuscript dates from approximately 1404 to 1438. This indicates that the book was indeed created during the Middle Ages, and not a modern-day hoax. Chemical analyses also showed that the ink and paint inside were consistent with materials used during that historical period. There was no evidence to suggest that this was a counterfeit product created in recent centuries. Even stranger, it lies in the language of the book itself. When researchers statistically analyzed the text, they discovered that the symbols did not appear randomly. The frequency of words, the repetition of character patterns, and many other characteristics tended to resemble natural languages used by humans. In other words, what appears in Voynich is not a meaningless string of symbols written to deceive others. It possesses characteristics that a real language typically has. And it is here that the mystery becomes deeper than ever. Science has confirmed that the book is real. The materials are real, the ink is real, the language within also appears to be real, but the meaning of its entirety remains completely beyond humanity's reach. Perhaps the most frightening thing is not what we don't know about Voynich. Perhaps the most frightening thing is that after more than 100 years of research, we are still not very close to understanding what this book is really trying to tell us. After more than a century of research, the strangest thing about the Voynich manuscripts is not the bizarre botanical drawings, the mysterious astronomical diagrams, or the theories of parallel worlds. The strangest thing is the existence of a book that seems to have been created to convey knowledge, yet humanity is unable to understand that knowledge. We often tend to believe that all mysteries will eventually be solved by science. We believe that with enough time, enough technology, and enough data, humanity will eventually find the answers to every question. But Voynich serves as a humble reminder that our understanding still has limitations. Imagine a possibility even simpler than all the alien or parallel world theories. Perhaps this book was written by perfectly ordinary people. Perhaps its author lives right here on Earth. But their perspective on plants, language, astronomy, and the world around them is so different that modern brains no longer have the context to understand it. If that's true, then the distance between us and the author Voynich isn't a spatial distance. It's a distance in perception. And this is also a thought-provoking lesson for modern people. We live in an era where many believe they already know enough. We easily dismiss anything that doesn't fit our familiar way of thinking. But history consistently shows that the world is always more complex than people imagine. Perhaps the greatest value of the Voynich manuscript lies not in deciphering it, but in the fact that it forces us to accept that there are still things we don't fully understand. It reminds us to remain curious, to maintain humility before knowledge, and to always be ready to question what we take for granted. Because perhaps the scariest thing isn't that there's another world out there. The scariest thing is that there might exist ways of understanding the reality right before our eyes, but the human brain isn't yet capable of recognizing it. Perhaps that is why Voynich continues to haunt researchers more than 100 years later. Not because of what the book reveals, but because of what it shows about our own limitations. In your opinion, is the Voynich Manuscript an unsolved codebook, a relic of a lost knowledge, or something even stranger? Share your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to discover more historical and scientific mysteries and unanswered questions of humanity.